Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of RPEC on Air, a podcast produced by the Retired Public Employees Council of Washington. I'm your host, Alissa Brady, and today we don't have a guest. It's just me here all by myself, but that's okay because I have a lot of exciting announcements. So we're just keeping it pretty simple for today. Next month, there are going to be 2 episodes of the podcast at least. So that's why we're just keeping it pretty basic. But anyway, that said, exciting things are coming. Thanks to a bill that we passed in the 2024 legislative session, Plan 1 retirees will be getting a one-time 3% COLA that will go into effect July. So you'll see that in your statement at the end of this month. So that said, the Select Committee on Pension Policy, or SCPP, will be meeting soon to consider funding proposals to restore a recurring cost of living adjustment for Plan 1 retirees. So RPEC and the Washington Education Association Retired, or WEAR, one of our partner organizations, will be mobilizing members in support of this top legislative priority. So please mark the following dates on your calendar for these mobilizations. First, there's September 17th, October 15th, and November 12th. So this is really important. We're really pushing to get this ongoing COLA reinstated for 2025. So mark your calendars, show up for that, and yeah. Next, on July 26th at 1 p.m., so that's next week, we are hosting a new member webinar to educate members about RPEC structure, member-exclusive benefits, and the role of members in advocacy and legislative affairs. We'll also go over the many ways that you can contribute to the strength of RPEC. And that will be hosted by Jacob Knupp, our membership coordinator. And another thing, RPEC is expanding our work at the federal level. So for those of you who maybe weren't here last year, welcome, first of all. Or maybe you weren't able to join. But last year in 2023, we launched the RPEC Speakers Series, which features federal experts on subjects like Social Security and Medicare. Last year featured Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. This year, on August 5th at 10 a.m., we are hosting our second Speakers Series event featuring Congressman Adam Smith from the 9th Congressional District. Congressman Smith is a co-sponsor of the Medicare for All Act, which recognizes healthcare as a human right, which is a huge priority for RPEC here. Congressman Smith is going to discuss the status of Social Security and Medicare, including federal funding, policy developments, and legislation. Congressman Smith's presentation will be followed by a Q&A. These are pre-written questions. So again, that event will take place via Zoom. It's on Monday, August 5th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You have to register in advance to attend. Registration closes on August 1st. We'll also be joined by our partner organizations too. So please show up for that. You can register by visiting the RPEC website at www.rpecwa.org. That's rpecwa.org, and you will see on the front page we have the link to register for the event. Again, registration closes August 1st, so please make sure you get that done. As always, please contact us if you need help with your registration. That's what we're here for. We want you all to show up, and we want to support you all in order to be able to do so, right? Now, on the subject of Social Security and Medicare, you may have read this previously. We've written a few articles about this, but Social Security and Medicare are expected to remain solvent longer than originally projected. So that's good news. Now, there's still a looming threat. There are folks in Congress who want to cut back on the funding. They want to raise the retirement age to 69. Please, I can't work that long. All things that maybe offset this a little bit, but it really does not address the issue. On the subject of Social Security and Medicare, ARPEC has co-sponsored 2 Social Security-related resolutions at the Washington State Labor Council Convention, which is actually happening this week. It's happening right now. ARPEC President Claire Olivers and Vice President Maurice Garrett will advocate for the Washington State Labor Council convention body to adopt these 2 resolutions to help protect your hard-earned Social Security benefits. So both of them address congressional efforts to cut the Social Security Trust Fund and the need to bolster funding. The argument from those who want to make these cuts is that Social Security and Medicare are contributing to the national debt, where that is actually not the case. They are self-funded. These are programs that have greatly benefited elderly and disabled people. These are social safety nets that are extremely important. So we will be providing you an update on the status of those resolutions. Again, convention is happening right now as I'm recording. Next, and another thing, in August, we will be hosting a 3-part series going over Medicare. Parts 1 and 2 will be released in August, and Part 3 will be released in September. So it's just ahead of the open enrollment period. There will be one that covers non-Public Employees Benefits Board Medicare plans, navigating Medicare with non-employer sponsored plans. There will be one that goes over transitioning into Medicare, and there will be a deep dive as well into the Public Employees Benefits Board specific plans. So each one addresses something a little different, and the 3-part series, it will feature me, of course, but I will be joined again by Tim Smolen, who you heard in episode 3 of this podcast. Tim Smolen is with SHIBA, the statewide health insurance benefits advisors. This is a program offered through the Office of the Insurance Commissioner, and this is a resource that you all should use. Also, if you want to volunteer and help them out, if you want to volunteer to help other people navigate Medicare, they need volunteers. So maybe you should do that. Episode 3 covers how you can volunteer, who to contact, what all of that entails. I highly recommend it. It's a free way for you to learn about Medicare and use that education to help others understand it as well. So we will be joined by Tim Smolen, and we will also be joined by Matt Groshong. He is the president of Chapter 3 and also the chair of the ARPEC Healthcare Work Group, which has been doing amazing work. You'll be able to listen and watch the 3-part series. We will actually be doing a video format of the podcast for this, so you can watch or you can listen. It will, of course, be available on the ARPEC website, and we'll announce it once those are released. So we're very excited to have Tim Smolen back. We're excited to have a member on the podcast again. So stay tuned for that. Learn more about Medicare. Again, listen to episode 3 of the podcast, and you can learn more about SHIBA specifically, how SHIBA can support you, and how you could support other retirees if you become a SHIBA volunteer. So, all that said, stay tuned. We'll wrap it up here, and I will talk to you in August. Thanks again for tuning in to ARPEC on Air. This is a collaborative effort, a collaborative project, and members, please get involved with this podcast. We want to hear from you. As I mentioned, we will have an ARPEC member featured on the podcast the next 3 episodes. That could be you. If you like talking, if you have a story to share, a message, please reach out to us. That's podcast@arpecwa.org. That's RPECWA.org. If you have ideas for another episode. If there's a subject you want us to cover, if there's someone that you want to hear from, reach out to us and let's build this thing together. We'll talk to you next time. We'll go over all the different ways that you can contribute. I'm going to do that over again.